going on with y'all? It's your boy NeohXO back again with some predictions for Black Clover. This time, predictions for Black Clover chapter 276. 275 was a very good chapter. I read the comments on my review and everyone was loving it. Before we get too deep, subscribe to the channel, leave a like on the video. Getting right into it, next chapter I think is going to be an even better chapter. I think in chapter 275, most people were very excited because of Mereoleona's new form, and we get to see it shown off in the last chapter. The last thing that we saw from her in that chapter was her using that new spell to basically devour that legendary demon in flames. The name of that spell was Kalidos Brachium Purgatory Abyss, and she just straight up, she did that to that demon. Now, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Do y'all want me to be honest? Because if I'm being honest, that was a very powerful spell. However, there's no way that she took out that demon with just that spell. Now, if she did take out that demon with just that spell, Mirio's automatically on a different level. She's already on a different level, but we're gonna put her higher than that level that she's already on if she took it out with that spell right there. I think that that was a very powerful spell, and definitely it would take out most opponents, but you gotta realize, I don't think that that devil got the name legendary for no reason. However, also Mirio does state that she's going to defeat a legend, so I think she will. I think she's one of those characters that knows what she's doing and she knows what she's talking about. So if Mirio says that she's going to defeat this legendary demon, I think that it's a safe prediction based upon what she's saying, based on just what we know about her and how strong she is. I think it's an easy prediction to say that because she says she's going to defeat this thing, she's actually going to defeat it. I don't think it's going to be over with that technique that she used in 275 just yet. She's going to have to do a little bit more than that, but right now it seems like a very one-sided battle, and that's why I think she's going to win. Honestly, it's a one-sided battle. Have y'all even seen the legendary demon do any considerable damage to Mirio? I think not, and she's just on a different level. Moving on though, some other things that we're going to see in this next chapter that I think we're going to see in this next chapter is, I think we're going to see the battles with the Dark Triad. And the reason I think this is because of the way that this chapter left off. You have to think, if it's, let's say you're reading a volume of the manga. I have all of the volumes of the manga, so I'm pretty familiar with the way they read. If you have all of the volumes of the manga, if you're reading it, it would be pretty weird to have a chapter just about to fight against the Dark Triad and then you flip the page of the volume and then it's something completely different. It's a possibility, not gonna lie, it's a possibility, but I'm just saying, if you're reading the volume, you want the story to flow. So flowing based on the last page of this chapter, it would make sense that right after that we get the actual fight, because that's how it ended off. It ended off like the fight was about to begin. So we're gonna have the beginning of the fight. I see that they have three different scenarios. Now, I don't know whether they're gonna have all three fights in one chapter or whether they're gonna take their time and basically have each fight be their own chapter. So there's three Dark Triad members we know: Dante, Zenon, and Vanica. Now, when I say this, I'm meaning like, it's possible that we see all three fights in the next chapter, or we just focus on one of them. For example, maybe we focus on a Vanica fight with Charlotte, maybe we focus on a Zenon fight with Yuno, or maybe we focus on Dante, or we can focus on all three. It just depends on how fast Tabata wants to write it. The reason I'm not predicting Asta to come back next chapter is because I think it's still a little bit too soon for Asta to come back. I think that when Asta comes back, it's going to have to be a more dire situation, such as him rescuing Yuno. We know that happens a lot. He rescues Yuno, Yuno rescues him sometimes. For example, Asta made an entrance whenever Repchi was, doing some crooked stuff to Yuno, and he saved Yuno from Repchi. We also seen whenever Mars was about to defeat Yuno in a dungeon, Asta came. So I think it's safe to say that Asta is not going to be popping up in the next chapter. We might get to see him briefly, just something like a panel or two, kind of just to see where his training is at. But right now there is a lot going on, and there's honestly a lot of stuff that we can see. We can see Noelle. I don't see that happening though, because like I said, it would be kind of weird if you got them pulling up on the Dark Triad, and then Noelle comes out of nowhere. Another reason I don't think we're gonna see Noelle next chapter, we might see a panel or two, but the reason I don't think it's gonna be completely focused on Noelle next chapter is because of these matchups. Let's say that Noelle does show up, so she would be fighting against Vonica, and I don't think it would be very good writing for Vonica to just be jumped by a lot of people, because we know that Noelle is going to have to face off against Vonica ultimately. So that's basically Rill fighting against Vonica, captain level. There's Charlotte fighting against Vonica, another captain level. Then you got a lot of people wanting Nozel to also fight against Vonica. You got a lot of people wanting Mirio to fight against Vonica. And then you got people wanting Noelle to fight against Vonica. Now, I know Vonica's strong, but she's not taking on all those people. So for this to be an entertaining story, we have to either see her take on her opponents one by one, or we have to see her just fight off against certain opponents and not fight off against others. Ultimately, in my opinion, I'm gonna just throw my opinion in there. I think the best setup will probably be Noelle, Mirio, and maybe Nozel. But then again, like, I don't know if Vonica take on 3 of those people at the same time. She definitely not taking on 5, so we're just gonna have to see. I don't think it's Noelle's time. Noelle might have to come pull up and save somebody from Vonica, but I think ultimately Noelle should be the one to defeat Vonica and avenge her mother, Asir. When it comes to Yuno, I think Yuno is still gonna have a tough time against Zenon. I think Yuno is more comparable to Zenon now than he was whenever Zenon took over the base, but I don't think that Yuno is about to just slap Zenon. That's not about to happen. And you can definitely tell from the look on Zenon's face. Out of the Dark Triad members from the last panel from chapter 275, if you look at Vonica and Dante, you can't really see their face very well, but when you see Zenon, it looks like he's very aggravated, and it seems like he's not playing. He literally looks like he has like a killer intent just by the way he's looking. I think Tabata drew him like that on purpose, and I think he's really getting annoyed now with the Clover Kingdom because they keep on being very persistent. But that's one thing we know about the Clover Kingdom, is that they are a very persistent kingdom and they will get things done. Zenon is just not really having it. I don't think Zenon is gonna lose in this next chapter coming up. I think it's gonna take a while for Zenon to lose. People saying, oh, Yuno is going to win, possibly, but I don't think it's gonna happen in the next chapter. I think Yuno is gonna have to struggle a little bit. Even Langris, I do think Yuno is stronger than Langris, so Langris is kind of like a backup to Yuno in this fight, especially since Yuno has a bone to pick with Zenon, no pun intended. But yeah, that's what I really think. So basically, I think we're gonna see a little bit of Mirio, and we're gonna see a little bit of the Dark Triad fights, just to give a basic answer of what I'm predicting is going to happen in this next chapter. I can basically see Zenon really going off against Yuno and Langris, because Zenon is just, he's powerful enough to do that. And I know Langris and Yuno are powerful, but Zenon is on a different level. Now when it comes to Dante fighting against Noct and Jack, I think Noct and Jack got that. I definitely think Noct and Jack got that. And when it comes to Charlotte and Rill, I will have to wait and see on that one. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and leave it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. We're almost to 3,000 subscribers. Hopefully we could get there soon. And anyways, hope you enjoyed. It's been your boy NeohXO, and I'm out.